5 reasons you shouldn't quit your job yet. Welcome to season 17, episode 2. This season is a raw look at building yourself. Last episode we looked at working for yourself. While the quit your 9 to 5 narrative is popular today, we're talking about the strategic advantage of staying employed. I'm building this journey while running trustedcreators.org because I know that financial stability is a creator's best friend. I'm going to cover 5 points today. I'm going to help you decide when and if you should be quitting your day job.
Working for yourself, I know you love it. Working for yourself, cause I love it too. Working for yourself, Zulf talks about it, making it easy for you. Working for yourself, go be your own boss. Working for yourself, Zulf will help you along. Working for yourself, powered by trusted creators, Zulftalks.com.
Thank you for joining me on episode 2. If you're following along on this new season, I have created this to help you get through, because I know it's a time of difficulty for everybody. This journey is powered by my business, trustedcreators.org, but built entirely by me. If you can build this step by step, so you can follow the full journey and get the resources for this episode at zulftalks.com. These points I'm talking about today, I'm going to cover them in detail, but as always, jump over to zulftalks.com. You can download like a little section or show resources and get it to your inbox, and you can read through these at a later point just to link back to what we talk about. So why quitting too early in your progression and your journey can add pressure, unnecessary pressure. That's number one. I feel like if you're working a job, you've got a salary coming in, everything's la-di-da-di-da. You start something up, you make some money. When do you make that jump? This is the hardest decision to make, because you're going to be letting go of a job that's giving you a regular income, maybe got a safety net, and you're going to somewhere where you're going to be working for yourself. All the things we spoke about in the past episode, all the 5 truths about working for yourself that nobody tells you. What's going to happen? Well, this is what's going to happen. In life, it's like you know what you're capable of. Do you trust yourself to be able to do what you want to do? If you're not sure, is it better to err on the side of caution, or is it better to do something anyway? Think of a time where you did something, but you weren't sure about it. Did it work out well for you? I put all my eggs in one basket and I started making videos. I moved from my day job part-time to give myself more time to see, is this actually going to work? When I earned a year's salary in 3 days, I thought to myself, okay, is this a one-off? Was that a fluke? Did I get lucky? Can I try that again? I did it for a month. I worked for a month and I earned enough money that I would never have earned in my job. What was I earning? Let me do the figures in my head. Okay, so let's say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 6.5, call it 7 years. 7 years of working where I worked, 9 till 5. I earned all of that in a month's worth of work. At that point, I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take the jump because A, I've already earned what I would have earned in 7 years of working where I worked. So what does that mean? That means I've got 7 years now using that money I've earned in that 1 month, even if I don't make any more money after this point, to decide what I want to do. If I treat that 7 years worth of income like a salary and pay myself what I was getting before a year, because I know I can live off that because I was already living off it. So I used the method of, let's check if what I've got was a fluke. Can I do it again? Can I repeat it? Have I made enough money to be able to do what I want to do? If I come back to this career, can I do that? Do I leave on good terms? Of course. So you've got options there. But I didn't leave the job. I went part-time, continued that for a whole year, and then I left the job, making it clear that this is what I'm doing. Follow along on my journey. Follow me on LinkedIn to all my friends, work colleagues. I learned a lot from work. I'm using that in my other life. So you have to position it and make sure it works. Don't kid yourself. If that was a one-off and you did 3 days work, got quite a bit of money, and then you moved away and you found out you can't get that again, you've kind of messed up. But if you've done it in a way where you're creating yourself a buffer for a couple of years, then you know you've got that time to figure out what you want to do because you've got that income coming in. Is it regular? Is it one-off? So that's your first point. Quitting too early will add pressure. You don't need pressure. You want to relieve pressure when you're working for yourself. And how can the job fund your transition? Having that backup as a part-time job, I lowered what I was earning, but I was able to fund the transition period. Setting up the company is not cheap. You'll easily spend a couple of £1,000 if you're in the UK setting up the company. And that's not just going on to companies as in making a self-employed or a business. It's all the associated costs that you're going to have to start thinking about. And if you haven't thought about those, I did a full season about breaking down like what a business involves and all the costings and everything. And the accountant fees and all that adds up. Insurance, any equipment you're going to use. And you have to test the idea without burning bridges. So that's another one there now. You've got, don't quit too early. Number 2 is, can your job fund your transition? Number 3, testing ideas without burning bridges. In my example, I explained what I did. I asked for part-time work where I was working. I made sure what I did can be repeatable and then made the money to be able to take the time off work, having a buffer without burning bridges. Because I did all say, I'm moving away to do my own thing. It may be in the future I might come back because I enjoyed my job. I didn't not like it. I did it long enough, 15 years. I could have still been there. But now I've got the freedom to choose what I want to do, when I want to do it. And it's a position that it's an element of luck, right place, right time. If you build your skills up and you get your big break, is it because you were aiming towards doing that? Or did it just come and knock you in the door and say, like, here's the job? That hardly ever happens. You have to kind of be in the field, doing what you're doing, being creative to get the opportunity. If you're not in that position in the first place, then you're making it harder for yourself. Unless you're like a talent key thing that you've got, depending on what you're doing. So keep that in mind. And there are going to be signs you're not ready yet. If you take a bit of time out, you're testing your idea and you get stressed out and you get angry and you can't do it or something went wrong, that's your sign. You need to start logging those down. Like, oh, why did I get angry? What happened? Okay, so I wanted this item to be here by this date in order for me to do the next project, but it didn't come because of the delivery issue and you got really angry at it and then it impacted your deadlines. How did you deal with it? That's the key problem there. When you're working for yourself, everything is your problem. You can't make something be like, oh yeah, okay, my delivery didn't come, I couldn't do it. No. This is going to be where you'll be like, okay, this happened this time. You get onto the supplier, say, it's imperative I have it for this date. What can I do to make sure the next time it's here for this date? Do I need to pay extra for express delivery? Can you guarantee it being here by 1, 2, 3, whatever? Do I get someone to go down there and drive and pick it up and get it? Some of these key requirements to be ready. And these are also signs you're not ready yet. If you're not thinking like this, then you need to consider, can you take the burden of setting up your own company? Because ultimately it'll be you. So that's like number 4 on the list, signs you're not ready yet, and being able to track those. And then you've got the same time, you don't want to quit your job yet because you might be getting signs you might be ready soon, but you're not quite ready there. What does that mean? You go into work, 5 o'clock, you clock off, you go home, you've done your shift. Someone phones you while you're at home. Oh, could you mind doing da-da-da-da-da? You're like, nah, sorry, mate, my 5 o'clock is, I'm done. So is that because you're working for someone else? Could you evaluate that and think, you know what, let me help them out, because then that is somebody's business ultimately, and in the future I might need their help. So it's been many occasions where I've finished, when I used to work normal hours, I'll finish my work, they'll say, you know what, this other guy was meant to come in and do this and this, do you mind, depending on your commitments obviously, but where possible, you would stretch yourself to help them. It's all about connections and who you're helping. If you turn around and be arsey with them and don't help them out, in the future when you need something, it's not going to work out, is it? Treat everything like a relationship. You want to be able to give and take. If they want something out of the normal, then you've got a little favor there that in future you could do. And it's always come back well for me. So signs you might be ready soon is make sure you know at what point what you're doing is right. Is it good? Can you reevaluate how you're thinking? It's not always about you. It's about the team entirely, how things are doing well, what it can do for you in the future. So the reality check there is, it's a trust builder. So don't quit your job yet until you've thought about these 5 points I've given you today. And how much do you really need to start up? That's like episode 3. That's going to be the next episode. So if you do decide you can quit your job, you're in a position where you can transition off to do what you want to do, and you can handle the pressure, you can make the transition, you've trusted your ideas, you haven't burnt any bridges, you could always go back. The last thing we want you to do is set up a new company, it doesn't do well, and you can't go back to what you were doing, and you're kind of left in no man's land in a position where you can't do anything. So think carefully about what you're doing, how you're doing it. Obviously it's not advice, this is more of a journey of what can happen generally. If you pass all of that, how much money you really need to start. I'm going to give you a couple of figures. I'm going to give you some ideas, what to think about the revenues, what all these different amounts mean, how much you actually earn net and then gross and all this stupid stuff that you got to think about when you do your own business. You may already know it. You might be ahead of the normal people. But if not, next episode is going to be how much money you actually need to start working for yourself. And I'll give you some pointers there. I'll see you in the next episode. What's one question you're stuck on right now? Contact me on zulftalks.com. You can drop me a message on Insta or email me there. It would be really good if you can leave a review wherever you're listening to this. The show resources are available at zulftalks.com.